Minimizing rotation of a toric IOL after the surgery is quite an important procedure. A slit cartridge is used to minimize the forces acting on the toric IOL. The capsular excess is made of the correct size. The lens is rotated close to the proposed position of the toric IOL. The visco is removed completely from capsular bag. The back of the lens is flushed with BSS using the Simcoe cannula, the reverse flow from aspiration port of the Simcoe cannula, which directs a vertical jet, upward jet, onto the back of the lens. The visco in the peripheral bag is aspirated by several techniques. I use the hydrodissection cannula to do that. Deepen the chamber and see, once the chamber is deepened from its shallow position of SICS, then it rotates a little bit. It readjusts the alignment of haptics to the optic. So this has to be confirmed. Now, as you can see here, it rotates a little bit when the AC deepens, and AC actually deepens and shallows slightly. That's the correct position. The lens gets aligned post-operatively. All the cortex has to be completely removed from the capsular bag, otherwise irregular scarring will push the lens to one of the directions. Now that is the hydrodissection cannula used to ultimately flush the capsular bag. As you can see here, the AC was deepened, but it was few degrees on the anti-clockwise side. The lens is rotated again. Now it's perfectly positioned to the axis we have marked on the cornea. This patient has a large amount of corneal cylinder, which is confirmed on pentacam. That is the marking identifying a scleral vessel and OPD3 scan. It shows the 41-degree turn that you have to make to reach the steep meridian from the limbal landmark. This is a very useful tool of OPD3 scan, as you can see there. These markings are done with the patient being seated in front of the machine with head kept vertically straight, and there are various gadgets which can verify the K readings of front and back of the cornea. The incision is marked, and here it comes on the nasal side, so I have marked it on the temporal side. Incision is made at 15 degrees below the horizontal axis. I prefer to take an incision on the steep axis if it is on the temporal side, either below the horizontal meridian or 2 clock hours above the horizontal meridian, instead of taking it at 180 degrees all the time and relying on the vector changes in the IOL positioning. This has given better results to me to do the incision either on steep meridian or flat meridian. After the surgery, the patient is asked to lie down in supine position for a long time in the hospital as well as at home to minimize the gravity-induced rotation of intraocular lens.